So this week I decided to not go with the first car that I had first fell in love with. And the reason for this is it would have been a decision made in anxiety. What I've learned when it comes to manifestation is you want to make sure you're grounded so that what comes through is of your highest good. It's what is in alignment. And when it comes to big decisions, anxiety and fear can come in and cloud our ability to hear and know what is best for us. And this week, not only was I having fear and anxiety, but I was really tired. I slacked on getting my affirmation videos up. And so what I did was I wrote down my affirmations and I put them in a journal and took them around with me so I could read them and be one with them or whatever the heck. And I realized that doesn't work for me. In truth, there's so many ways that we can do affirmations, and you really have to find what style works for you. For me, the video works because I can press play, I can read, I can sit there, I can meditate. There's not a lot of needing to do. And being a neurodivergent who is dyslexic, writing takes a lot of effort for me. And down the road, this may be the form that I need to utilize. But right now, it just was a major flop and a major failure. So this week, I didn't really have my affirmations. I was still riding on a good high, having finished my energy healing, the blueprint of light. I started this week going into another blueprint of light to work on flexibility. It was tied into my TMJ. It was another layer of me being able to speak and be one with my truth. So I continued that work. I felt really good energetically. I felt energized. I felt happy, and so I didn't really pay attention to the lack of affirmations in my life. What I did pay attention to was, are my choices based in fear or anxiety? And I really wanted to get clear if this car was for me or not, because there was a lot of self doubt that came up. And what I had to do is I had to slow down enough to know, is this my voice or is this somebody else's? Because the self doubt, the fear, and the lack mentality generally is not yours. Generally, it has been embedded in your body through some channel: family, friends, society, and collective thought forms. Collective thought forms are the emotions that run through all of us humans. And over time, they gain a lot of energy. I shared a video about cursed energy from Jujutsu Kaisen, and explains this perfectly. And a lot of these energies are so old and ancient that they're almost real in a sense. They are intelligent beings. They formed from single cell to a complex multi-cell um, individual, just like humans. Humans have evolved from a single cell into multiple. And to think that those emotions haven't evolved along with humanity, I feel is kind of silly. So I had to really not battle, but come into contact with a lot of these thought forms that were not mine, these voices, these things that act as intelligent beings, which can really undermine your ability to manifest, which is very intense. And so this week, when I said no, what came up was this voice. It's like, you need to pick the car, you need to purchase the car. And I just heard this voice yelling at me to demanding me to get the car. And I took a step back and I'm like, you're not God. And this entity of sorts stared me down. It's in the fourth dimension. You visualize it, you can see them. They're not in reality. And this thing stared and looked at me. It got so angry. And it's like, no, I'm not. And I knew right then and there, I'm like, this is the wrong choice. This is the wrong car. Could it have been a good car? Sure, but it wasn't of the highest affinity for me and my goals and my desires. And it was one of those moments where I was like, I have to let go. I had to detach and I had to trust that a better car was waiting for me, a better experience. And it's a big pain getting a car. I wanted the car. There's so many things that I am tired of and just wanting to evolve to the next level, but I knew that if I made a decision that was ungrounded, it could come back and haunt me down the road. And this car, I had two visions of me getting hit by a truck two times. I don't get that very often. So this manifestation isn't just about me getting a car. It's learning how to trust myself. It's learning to evolve past the lack. And that adds in a few extra steps. It's teaching me the foundations of true trust, which over time with this repetition will allow me to access it with greater ease. It's like anything. You learn something new, it takes a little bit of time to get it down, but once you have it down, it becomes that subconscious hum. Because for me, the subconscious hum has been lack, um, self-doubt, feelings of worthiness or a lack of them, feeling worthy. And that's something that's just all these emotions: fear, anxiety, lack, self doubt. And it's funny how it'll plagiarize itself as making busy work. So I really had to slow down my work. I had to make sure I wasn't doing too much. I had to make sure I was doing my healing. And I had to really check in to make sure my choices were in the best alignment. So the fact that I didn't have my affirmations this week, did it hurt me? Did it not? I don't think so, because I was still doing so much work. But would I recommend it? Honestly, I started this journey wanting to not do this, to be consistent. But I do understand that life happens and I don't want anyone to feel bad. What I do want to stress is, in the back of my mind, I really made it made it a priority to put up those videos, and those videos were made. They were up. I did it at the end of the week because I didn't like not having them. So moving forward, I want to be on top of making those videos so I have access to them. All of you will have access to them because the way that I'm forming and making them, they'll be available to you, but they're not readily available for me. So I want them to be readily available for me so I can have the best experience and also bring the highest quality of information regarding my experience to you during these reviews. So the book did not work. Writing it down and reading it did not work because I have so many different things that are vying for my attention. The morning times are the best time for me to do that so I can get grounded in my truth. I feel like things are shifting around how I will do that because once I get a car, that will change my routine. I've been doing it on the bus when I'm sitting there, and I won't be able to do that anymore. So I think my body is starting to shift and acclimate around that. So I'm keeping that in mind. But for this week, I really planned and prepped so I'm prepared moving forward so I don't have this, gap. I do have it readily available for me to utilize because not having it available makes it more of a possibility for me to not do the affirmations. And I want to make my environment and the tools that I utilize readily accessible so it helps support my growth rather than hinder it. So that was the learning experience for me. I said no to a car, which brought about a lot of deep healing and transformation of old thought patterns, which is very crucial because I'm seeing that these need to be changed within me. It's a necessary part of the process and something that I didn't know would be required of manifestation, but I'm seeing that it is good, it is necessary work, and it'll serve me because it's setting a foundation. Setting the foundation usually takes the longest, but in a way, it's not harder, it's just longer. And I think sometimes, I know for myself, when I look at something taking a little bit longer, I view it as it not being as good, not being as efficient, and that's not the truth. Sometimes going fast doesn't help, it hurts. So I'm being very mindful of being tactful when I need to slow down and how it will support me rather than how it will hurt me. I'm trying to view everything from a positive lens so that I bring that energy into my home, my household, my everything that supports me outside of this world because your mindset supports the internal balance, and that mindset then fills the world that you live in. And so I want this car to be an extension of that because I live in a home that I love and I cherish. And I want that car to be an extension of that. So when I go out into the world, that energy is always with me. It's always supporting me, and it's always grounding me into the next best thing. So that was this week. Next week, I will share my continued journey with the manifestation of a car. And here's to hoping that, the right one falls into my lap and I'm guided to it, and that I remain open to this process. Because, not going to lie, I would love for it to be over, but I also know that this is on God's terms and I'm working with that, because there are many gems that are being revealed to me through this process. So I'm praying that I stay open, that I stay grounded, and that I stay in my truth, which is God's truth. So I'm wishing you all a good week, and we'll see you in the next video.